Who got it? Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Here we go! Yo! Surrealists on the radio, the party bro living in the audio, making everybody go. Yo, welcome back to the show. Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com. Good morning, Mari.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes for one of us, so that's cool. It's always tough to come back to do an early morning show after a 4-day break, but I was actually looking forward to it as well because this is my sanity. This is my therapy. I can't afford an actual therapist.
Yeah.
So, luckily for me, I have a show of a bunch of thoughtful listeners out there that will listen to me vent about all my woes and problems. It's not going to be all bad times, though, because I do have some funny stories to share with you over the next couple hours, just for the past couple days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have concerns that, like, my good friend Rico, who's in Tulum right now, Mexico, I'm afraid he might join a cult.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very cult-like what's happening with Rico.
Oh, no.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, and I'll present my evidence, if you will. Also, I know that it's been 2 weeks since Mari's been on, so we have another round of dirty DMs. Her inbox has been getting flooded, much like her basement whenever she hears me speak. Ayo.
Oh. No.
Yeah, and I guess so much more, too, because I went up to Pine Top for, Thanksgiving and did the family thing. And I have, a girlfriend and a teenage daughter. And sometimes that's so much emotions. And I'm just the man in the middle. I'm a man with suppressed emotions. You're just like, whatever. I'm just going with it. And there's two extremes on me on both sides. Sometimes they're opposite. Sometimes they're the exact same. But it's a firestorm. And I'm in the middle like a marshmallow getting charred most of the time. And that was my Thanksgiving experience. Now, things are good now. The dust is settled once we get back into the safety and sanctity of our home. But any kind of like trip outside of that safety bubble is problematic. And it ends up being problematic for me. And I end up dealing with the brunt of drama and getting looks like, poor guy. Oh, you right there? Yeah. Oh, I feel for you. This is my life, Mari. And so I went into an emotional roller coaster. Like I went up to Pine Top with the thoughts of regret. The regret was that I didn't invest in an engagement ring to propose to my girlfriend on Thanksgiving in front of her family.
Which would have been very nice.
Which would have been very nice because I'm very much in love with this woman. And I'm like,
amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the one. And I should have done this for this moment. It would have been fantastic. It would have been perfect timing. And, it would have been great. But then I left Pine Top from that 3-4 day weekend with thoughts in my head thinking that I don't know if we're going to last past Christmas.
Eek.
So we went from one extreme to the other, and that's just the emotional roller coaster that is my life.
That's the holidays.
I know. I know, you gotta love it. So, the good news is we solved some things, and it looks like we'll make it past Christmas and hopefully beyond. But I'm just emotionally beat down, man. Mostly beat down. Then get back into a work thing, and actually turning the page going forward. We have a lot of positive things that we need to focus on going into Christmas break. One, we continue to do the Master of Prizes, so that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, yes. So we're going to be doing that at 7:15. So you get a chance to win an autographed acoustic guitar from the legendary guitarist Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains fame.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. And we have some other stuff, but not necessarily ticket giveaways. I hear Riley and Razor both have Sublime ticket giveaways. I don't necessarily have any ticket giveaways. They're like, Yeah. And that's fine because they don't like the games. And they're like, hey, you're doing so good with ratings that you don't even need tickets to give away to listeners. It's like, you got this. Usually we give away tickets on air for people who need the help, need a listener bait. But no. All the tools and resources, you don't even need tools and resources, bro. You shine.
Good way to spin it.
Yeah, so we're not going to give you or your listeners anything because you're good enough to do it without. And I'm like, well, thank you, management. I appreciate that. I feel pretty good about that compliment. So let's go. Let's put on a good show without any listener bait and see how that goes. And I'll give you a spoiler. It's going to be awesome. I got Daughtry coming up after Breaking Benjamin, Your Morning Moron, and so much more. Keep it locked here all morning long. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Beef Vegan presents. Let's go. And that was our show open. And then look, we're back here live. Good morning, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that little show open, and welcome back to the stream. It's good to see all your familiar faces and comments here as we get things going. Got a great broadcast set up for you this morning, as always. In a little bit, I'm going to play that clip of Rico. Is Rico joining a cult? And I'm going to have Rico hopefully pop in on the stream sometime this week. I'm going to reach out to him, because he's been posting a lot of great posts of being in Tulum, Mexico. But there are a couple red flags that we talked about this morning around 6:30 that I will replay for you in a little bit. Plus, Mari and I are going to do another round of joking off.
Oh.
Yes. I think Power is going to pop in on the stream if he's still up and around, and so much more. And yes, I did hear that I missed a couple good games, the Tucson Roadrunners this weekend. Which is great. And I also missed some drama. Remember Cowbell guy who came in and hung out with us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cowbell guy. He was my replacement. He took it a little too seriously, but at the same time didn't. And apparently, and then if you saw him on Friday night, it was probably his last appearance.
Oh, no.
Look, it's hard to replace me in what I do. I'll tell you a little secret, a little trick of the trade, though.
Okay.
And a lot of guys don't realize this. In fact, I was offered a drink when he was shadowing me on like the week before. He's like, hey, you want a cocktail? I'm like, no, thanks, man. I'm working. That's the trick. That's a tip. Tip number
don't drink
one.
on the job.
Don't drink on the job, man. You got to know this when you're getting paid to do something.
Oh, no, he was drinking?
Well, I don't know. I can't.
Oh, we don't know.
Well, I do know, but I can't tell. I can't indulge too much. But I'm just giving you a tip. If you're going to work, it's probably best if you're getting paid to do something, not to be drunk while doing it. That gives you opportunities to do it again. That's what I've learned, with the exception of DJing, because DJing is one of, not radio DJing, but DJing music in clubs is one of the last professions out there that I actually encourage you to drink. That for musicians and entertainers as a whole. When I was DJing in a nightclub, I had free drinks, and people would, feed me drinks all night long. And sometimes the drunker I get, the better I get. But then I'd kind of cross that threshold and get really bad at the very end of the night. But at that point, everyone's so drunk, they don't remember, or I forgot. It doesn't matter. But, now being a responsible adult and whatnot, I when I get paid to do something, I do it sober. Go figure.
Smart. Good tip.
Yeah. It's not even 9:55 yet. I'm giving you a beef tip to start off the broadcast. That's how good we're going to do today.
Generous.
All right, I got 10 seconds. I got to do a little on-air tease, and again, so much more. I talked about like starting a riot and things like that. Rock 102.1 KFMA. You're listening to the podcast broadcast, the only podcast that's live on the radio. You can join us visually and see how beautiful Mari looks today, and check out my awesome hoodie on the Rock 102.1 Facebook page right now, or on YouTube if you search Beef Vegan Presents, or go to youtube.com/Beef Vegan. When we come back, an excellent radio prank happened, and radio pranks don't necessarily happen nowadays too often.
No.
But there's tons of conservative talk shows out there on the radio. One guy called in, and he was superb in the way that he trolled these conservative talk show hosts. I can't wait to share that clip with you. That's going to be after Chevelle. Here's Send the Pain Below on Rock 102.1. It's the podcast broadcast, baby. Stick around. It's going to be a good time. I called everyone baby.
Baby.
Yeah. I'm Vince Vaughn. I'm slowly growing into Vince Vaughn from Swingers.
That's a good hero.
Let's see. All right. Oh, your pool warming party. You're gonna have a pool warming party, Eric? My rates for DJing outside in the summertime are super high, though. So, I mean, you will get a discount, but it's still super high. Oh, good to see you too, Jennifer. Yes, long time no see. Hope the holidays were good for you. And welcome back to the podcast broadcast stream. So, yes, I'm going to show this little clip real quick. This is what we're going to be watching. This is a conservative talk show, as you can tell, based off the American flags and whatnot. And somebody called in just to fuck with him and did it in such a great way where he named a bunch of punk rock bands in his little rant. And they were all about it until like the end. They started catching on. Someone started catching on. So we're going to play that here in just a moment. And getting great. Oh, you're on a getaway in Payson. Nice. I love that you got this beautiful weather surrounding you. And you're like, you know what I need right now? I need a little video podcast. I need to check in with my old friends. I mean, I won't talk to Beef directly, but everyone else on the stream, that's who I really care about. It hurt my feelings here. Jennifer, before we went on the podcast broadcast, there's a couple things I touched on. Today, I have to go to court at 11 a.m. To fight a parking ticket. And I know I'm going to lose. Even more so when I found out that my judge's name is Judge Seaman. And I'm just not mature enough to deal with this. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this, especially off a lack of sleep after a long weekend. You know, the Honorable Judge Seaman, I'm already thinking of like dirty jokes. Like it's going to leave a stain on my parking record. And it's a sticky situation I won't be able to get out of.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't think I'll get off on the charges.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Have
Mm-hmm.
any one of you guys sat before Judge Seaman? Because this is an actual judge here in Tucson. So if you have any Seaman experience, positively or negatively, I would love to know.
So dumb.
Any tips how to deal with Judge Seaman? You know?
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. I hear he likes to give hard time.
So stupid.
I'm just saying these are facts here.
Ooh,
That's
facts.
happening at 11 o'clock. Thanks, Jody. Oh, nice. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yeah.
Yes, this is when he was partly in the sidewalk, so he wasn't the wrong, although he thinks he wasn't.
I wasn't, and I have pictures to prove it.
Oh.
Yeah, this was the second time I got a ticket there. The first time, yes, I was partially on the sidewalk. The second time with my little Kia Soul, I was in the lines and on the driveway, and like my girlfriend's brother-in-law owns this house. It's a very expensive house right there on University. You think you get a little leeway with his guests. But they're like, maybe they gave me a ticket because a Kia Soul was in front of this house and it should have been like a Lamborghini. But either way, I decided because I'm an idiot and I like wasting my own time and money to try to dispute it and fight it. And I know I'm going to lose. And it's the last thing I want to do today, too, is to go to court and sit in front of Judge Seaman and try to plead my case. Looking like a hobo as well. You know, I didn't even shower last night. I got greasy hair. I'm going to keep my hat on.
Yeah, you have a hat. You're
But since I'm going to be in court to be respectful to the judge, I'm going to put my hat forward because I'm an adult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Respect.
I'm doomed. I mean, usually they don't give out jail tickets for parking or jail time for parking tickets, but they will in this situation. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to the podcast broadcast. And now, as I teased before we played Chevelle, there was an excellent radio prank, which you don't get to see every day. So when a good prank happens, I like to celebrate it. What happened was there's a conservative talk radio show out somewhere in the Midwest. They all sit around. They talk about freedoms and, tyranny. And yeah, you've heard it before. It's like Fox News, but on a local radio level. Okay. And, every now and then they get people calling in to kind of mess with them, as one caller did in a fantastic way. He did it in such a punk rock way. He actually mentioned punk rock by name. Yes, named a whole bunch of bands while having a conversation with these radio hosts. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Yeah, see how many bands you could pick up in this clip.
Okay.
It's about 2 minutes long.
I've got Bill on the line. He's calling from here in Nashua. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Liz. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. I think one of my main problems is I'm a Republican in a fairly liberal area, and at times I feel like everyone is just like against me. So
Against
I
me?
feel like what we need to do is listen to what our descendants told us.
Descendants?
In the past, we refused to live like
Refused?
a life of agony. I'm just, I'm sick of it all. I'm sick of people thinking we're just a minor threat.
Minor threat.
Enough of that Fugazi.
Fugazi.
A lot of these people, they just
These
got
people.
bad brains and
Bad
they're
brains.
misfits who wave
Misfits.
a black flag.
Yeah.
That's
Black flag.
practically anti-flag.
Yeah.
I
Anti-flag.
think we need to converge and help the youth of today.
Youth of
Every
today?
time you blink, 182 kids, they go missing.
You like this is again, and they're listening intently. But the fact that he said every time you blink, 182 kids go missing.
Oh my god!
You didn't even pick up on that, did
pick
you?
up on that one, no.
Blink 182. It's amazing. They're not. He's not
So
done. He's
funny.
about halfway through. I'm thoroughly impressed.
More. We need to rise against.
Rise
or,
against.
they're going to have to deal with the fallout, boy.
You like how he slipped in the boy? You're gonna have to deal with the
Boy?
fallout, boy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and more folks are, and this is good, right, guys?
Well, yeah,
Yep.
it always happens. We have the left takes power, they overreach, a new group of people rises up, like now it's parents.
They rise
mostly,
against.
and
He's not
You
done.
know, we've been trying to, quote unquote, weaponize Granite Rock to say, look, get involved. Here's a group here, a group here, a group here, because people realize, yes, I want that. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Moment. Everybody needs that. We try to
Mhm.
help.
Blah blah
in
blah.
our
Throw in a
very
couple more band
self-effacing
names. I want to hear that.
Facing way. So,
Well, anyway,
yeah.
I'll let you guys go. I'm
Aw.
going to head out. I'm going to go catch some real big fish.
Real big fish. Yeah, they like that.
Are you gonna eat that really big fish for your Thanksgiving
Well,
meal?
Well, not if it tastes rancid.
Rancid. Nice.
All right, Bill. Hey, thank you for calling in, and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your day.
Newfound glory to you guys.
see you
Thank
then.
you.
And one last for the road, newfound glory. So that was an excellent way to troll a conservative
Oh my
talk
gosh,
show.
so good.
You need any reasons to do so. Now you do. All right, let's hit the reset. When we come back, we're gonna joke off Mari and I. Plus, on the podcast broadcast stream, we'll play around of the last word and see if I can get a caller right now. 600 KFMA, just to go and compete against Mari real quick on the stream. See how sharp you're feeling this morning. I got some excellent categories that I want to share with you that I'm very excited about. That and a whole lot more, all coming up on the podcast broadcast. So don't go away. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. So if you couldn't hear that audio that well, I apologize.
Mhm.
But yes, it was a very oppressive thing, and I'll try to rip it. This is my fault. I was hoping that the levels were a little better. On the FM side, maybe they heard it better, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't. That's just how it goes. But as we get ready, I do have a couple things I want to share with you. We're going to have dirty DMs coming up in a little bit, but I've been following Rico for a long time on social media. You guys know Rico well, and we're friends of Rico. He's a really good dude. I like him. I think he's extremely talented, but I know that he's in a point in his life where he's searching for answers. So he took this opportunity because he had the freedom to go down to Tulum, Mexico, where he met up with some friends that he made acquaintance with online and haven't met in real life. And then he started posting these pictures, which seem incredible. But at the same time, red flags keep popping up. So I ask, is Rico about to join a cult? Check this out. KFMA, it's Beef Vegan Presents. And I'm presenting a case. The case of, is a cult trying to recruit Rico? Now, you guys may or may not remember Rico. Big part of the show. He's on a couple days a week. He puts bunch of great videos together that we share on the podcast broadcast stream. I've known Rico for about a decade. And he moved to Tucson recently after a breakup and just kind of like he was resetting in his life. He was trying to like figure out his way. And when I saw that he was in town, I have so much respect and admiration for this guy's talent and ability that I was like, dude, come be a part of what I'm doing here because I think you're awesome and people need to know what you do. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. Many people, put Rico on a pedestal as far as his talent and his ability. He's super talented. And
Okay.
he made a friend online, someone he was a fan of, an author. And he started talking to this guy, and eventually, somehow, some way, the guy was like, hey, why don't you come down to Tulum, Mexico, which is just outside of Cancun, and chill for like a month. We could hang out. And Rico wasn't really doing anything. And he was like, hell yeah, that sounds like a good time. I'm just going to go and live life. And for that, I am jealous and I am envious in a way where I'm like, absolutely. You have no responsibilities, nothing holding you back. Just go live, experience life. And that's what he's doing. And right now, Tulum, Mexico is a beautiful place on earth. The weather is fantastic. It's paradise. If you think Cancun, it's right by the Mayan pyramids. It's very Americanized, but not, and based off the pictures and everything that we've been seeing, it looks like a fantastic space to go or place to go for vacation. But that's not the problem. The problem is the post that he starts sharing almost immediately after he goes there. And I'll give you an example and see if I'm not overreacting. So first picture he posted shows a couple people, very nice, attractive people. One woman wearing like a headdress. Looks very cult-like right off the bat.
He has prayer hands.
That looks very cult-like. And the man, his friend, sitting next to him, has got a pretty cult-like beard.
He does.
So if you're just going to go off of appearances alone, it's easy to say it's culty. But I don't want to be judgmental. I don't want to be that guy. Let me read what he wrote. Life is something. At a point, you realize only you define. It's a bizarre sort of realization that comes while looking at your own reflection naked in the mirror. Oh, no. Especially when you've been led to believe it's all about the terms and conditions agreements you have been signing all along.
Oh, no.
And then you go, F it. It felt good to throw myself into the abyss. In the last 2 days, I found family and strangers, keyword, kinship and people with familiar discontent, keywords, weirdos and vagabonds with a cause, crypto and crazy, refugees finding a semblance of freedom from the clown world. In Mexico, the water is warm, and I'm just waltzing my way through it until I find the deep end. Grateful. Now, this terrifies me.
Yes.
Right? Because it seems like there's a lot of red flags in this post where you're like, wait a second, that sounds kind of culty, Rico. And I really hope that that's not the case. But then he posted a couple other things. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to share his latest post. Now, again, I could just be a worrywart, right? He could be just having the time of his life. And it looks like he is having a great experience. And there's a great chance that he's going to grow as a person from it if he doesn't join a cult.
Right.
But it still seems very cult-like.
Very much so.
Here's one more post. And I'm going to read this to you, and I need your honest opinion. And 600 KFMA, that's 600-5362. Do you believe Rico is being recruited by a cult? He posted, and I quote, one day you're entering a cave with kindred wandering souls to do the breath work in tangent with transcendental shamanic, it's like a shaman, drums, juniper smoke, and sacred spirits where the infinite sociological and psychological states dance in spiritual union, where pain and suffering not only become victims of strange ascendants, but adopted parts of your former shadow selves to then exit the same cave with newfound presence and love. Then the next day, you drink mezcal with your Australian roommate before jumping on a crappy bicycle while listening to CCR, trying to find the best street meats. Mexico, so far so weird and so wonderful. Or Wonder Bar. So, it ended well. It started off very cold-like. But,
very much so.
Yeah. And I'm afraid. I'm afraid for him. Only because he's at a point in his life where he could be susceptible to this kind of thing. Because if he's looking at, he's like a lot of us, you're just like, the world's falling apart and it's all crap. And what does it all mean? And, and then you go down to Mexico and it's a beautiful paradise. And a man with a flowing ginger beard comes to you with beautiful women and tequila and says, and cryptocurrency and says, you could live here. I don't know if I'm ever going to see Rico in person again.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm concerned.
Yeah.
He's supposed to come back after a month and then we'll continue to do the show, but I don't know if that's going to be the case.
I don't know either. That's great.
Yeah. So we'll keep you updated on if Rico is joining a cult or if a cult is recruiting Rico. Let's hope not. Let's just hope that it's the best vacation ever. We'll see. All right, let's hit the reset. We return. Creepers have been sliding into Mari's inbox, so we're going to do another round. All right, so there's my case. As I presented it as best I could this morning around 6:30, and I see the comments. A lot of people are like, maybe. I'm not saying that he is, but maybe.
Frank called it. He said he was afraid.
Yeah, well, and who hurt Rico? Well, he's so smart, so creative, and yeah, he had a fallout with the relationship, and he was basically just trying to find himself and get back on his feet, and that's why he came back to Tucson with his family, hanging out, and some good things have been happening with him because when you put good energy out there, you're going to get good things in return. But he made a friend, and his friends had come to Tulum, and he had the opportunity. But it does seem like a lot of people are just kind of escaping to Tulum, and I could be jealous. I could be speaking from a place of jealousy because I love Mexico, and that's no secret to anybody. And I love Colts, the band. But, I do like the sense of family. But it does seem a little weird, and I'm just like, oh, come on, man. Stay with us now.
He is gone.
And he doesn't need to come back to Tucson. If this is not where, this is only temporary for him. So selfishly, I would want him back and to participate on the show. But, as a friend, I want him to be wherever he needs to be happy and live a long, fruitful life. But, if it's a cult, like that usually doesn't end too well based off the documentaries on Netflix I've seen. But again, I'm no expert. Yeah. And I might have a right to worry, Jeff. I do. I do know him well enough to be like, oh, they're dangling the fruits right in front of them. Like, hey, a better life, paradise. Yeah. Everything that you ever needed and ever sought after. All your answers lie here. Stay here. And that's like, but we'll see. Again, I'm speculating a lot. Some of it's for the sake of entertainment. But I do hope that we get in touch with Rico sometime this week on the podcast broadcast stream. So, I do know he has internet because he's been posting like a madman. So if he has time, he wakes up and he joins us on the podcast. We'll kind of get, a report from him straight from his mouth. And we'll see exactly where he's at mentally and emotionally. And you might be able to see it. The one thing I do know about people who join cults is they have cult eyes. You see it in the eyes, Yeah. It's a little spacey there. So if he has cult eyes, make sure we call him out on it. But if he doesn't have cult eyes, then just kick back and relax.
Yeah.
And just know that sometimes we get scared about things that we don't know. And we also get scared about things that we've been fed through the media. I've been taught my entire life that cults are bad. That's through the media. I don't know if I could trust it.
I don't think they're really good, though.
I don't know. Let's see. JJ says if Rico joined a cult, it would probably just to get some video footage for a really funny meme type skit thing. I would hope so.
He would get some good stuff too.
Oh yeah,
funny guy.
If he escapes a cult, he's gonna come back on fire. Yes. So we're gonna have excellent sketches from Rico, and I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So let's see where I'm doing now. I have a story that I want to tell about or talk about me blowing up at my daughter in the Wendy's drive-thru. And look, I understand that recently, the past couple of weeks, all my drama altercations that I have with my daughter have been in some kind of fast food drive-thru environment.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's not meant to be that way. And I'm not pro fast food by any means. We don't eat that daily. Just so happens when we came back from Pine Top, that was a late night destination that was quick and easy to get some grub in her belly. But I'll tell you what happened. Something extremely embarrassing and funny happened on this time. And yes, this is a different drive-thru story. The drive-thru story that Powers is referring to, Mari, is that I picked her up from school early the other day. And as a treat, I was like, hey, you want to get some lunch? Because it's around lunchtime. She's like, absolutely. I'm like, cool. You want to get some Jersey Mike's? Because I love Jersey Mike's.
Love it.
Yeah. And we were driving by it. And she's like, no, I'm not feeling a sandwich. And I'm like, okay. All right, fine. Well, luckily for you, I have a backup plan. And she's like, oh, yeah, what's that? I'm like, Wendy's. She's like, okay, I can do Wendy's. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
excellent. All right, that's my backup plan. So we pull up to the light on Speedway and Campbell and about to make a left, and there's a Taco Bell right next to the Wendy's. And she's like, actually, I want Taco Bell. Now, immediately, I'm like, fuck, man. I gave you 2 options. You said no to 2, and then you gave me a third one that I don't even want. I don't even want Taco Bell. But I love my daughter, and she was having a day. And so I'm like, fine, I'll get you some Taco Bell, even though I don't want Taco Bell at all. So we go up to the drive-thru in Taco Bell, and there's a long line because it's lunch rush. And we're waiting, and we get up to the intercom. And while we're there, she doesn't know what she wants to order. So I'm like, please give me a second. So we're waiting, and she's looking at the menu. And then after like a minute, she goes, I don't want anything. And I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, that is some bullshit. I'm so mad at this point, and I'm
that
stuck.
line gets so long, too.
I had 3 cars in front of me, 3 cars behind me. I was stuck. So even if I didn't order, I still would have to wait till everyone else got their order. And so I ordered a couple burritos because I didn't want to be a complete dick, but I was so mad. I was like, how dare you? I gave you 2 options. You said no. And then you make me come here, and now you don't want anything? This is absolutely hell no. So that was my first drive-thru story. And if you could believe it, I actually have another drive-thru story. And this time, after a long emotional weekend, I had enough. And unfortunately, I exploded a little bit verbally. I let her know my frustration. And on top of that, there were many witnesses. And that's what I'm about to talk about right now. Let's do it. Rock 2.1 KFMA. If you're joining us on the podcast broadcast, I've been talking about 2 drive-through stories that I've had with my daughter recently. This is apparently where we open up. Last week, I was talking about how I was at the drive-through. She wanted Taco Bell, and then we're there in line, and then she decided she didn't want any, and made me go to Taco Bell for it. It was a whole debacle, but that has nothing to do with this. So this happened on Saturday night after we came back from Pine Top. Now, when we went to Pine Top, it was an emotional roller coaster of a weekend, as a lot of holiday weekends can be.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of highs, a lot of lows. But she was a very moody teenager.
Oh.
Very typical. That was problematic. It caused problems with me and my girlfriend and my relationship. And this was a burden that I was carrying the entire weekend. Trying to tiptoe and juggle and make them both happy at the same time seemed like an impossible feat.
Hard.
Right? And it's in some ways, it's not my daughter's fault. In some ways, it is. In some ways, they're both to blame in certain situations. And I seriously am stuck in the middle. And I had enough. And I went on Saturday night. We got home. It was late and we're hungry. And we didn't want to make any food. So I'm like, I finally want to go to Wendy's. Right? Because I wanted to go to Wendy's for like a month. And they keep coming up with excuses as to why I shouldn't go to Wendy's. So I'm like, if you want food, I'm going to go to Wendy's. And she's like, okay. I'm like, good. Because that's what we're eating. So we go up to Wendy's drive-thru. And I go to order. And she wants chicken nuggets, fries, and whatever. But she doesn't want to drink. And I'm like, well, you don't want to drink. But it's just easier to get the combo. So I'm just going to get a combo. She's like, okay. So I ordered the combo and I said with the Dr. Pepper. And she goes, why are you getting a Dr. Pepper? Why? I don't want Dr. Pepper. I'm like, you don't want to drink. And then she's giving me attitude about this. I'm like, you're not even drinking soda. What are you talking about? You didn't even want the soda. So it doesn't matter. I just don't want an empty cup. So we pull up to the drive-thru window and nobody's around. The window's closed and she's still giving me attitude and I snap. I've had enough. And I was like, look, you need to drop this attitude right now. I had it all weekend long. You are causing problems. We're going to be out of the house in a crappy apartment because of your attitude. And then I hear, your total's $13.42. And I turn my head and to my gasp, to my horror.
Oh, no.
The dude is standing there with the window wide open. He was listening to the whole thing. And not only that, I was so loud and that window was open. Everybody inside the Wendy's heard it. And there was about 5 employees that just coincidentally just started popping up and walking by the window and like looking over with a smirk on their face to see who the maniac was yelling at his teenage daughter, telling them they're going to go live in a crappy apartment. That's what happened to me on Saturday night.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hashtag girl dad. Let's hit the reset. We got more of the podcast broadcast coming up. Don't go away. So, yeah, that was that story. Is that enough, my life? What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they've seen worse.
Oh, totally. But you definitely did not think that window was open, huh?
No. When I started yelling at her, like the window was closed and literally nobody was by the window. Like I couldn't see anybody inside the restaurant. They were like in the back or hiding. So I took upon the opportunity to address the BS that I was dealing with and I've been dealing with. And then I went into it and I made my little like reenactment was shortened for the sake of time on the radio.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it lasted probably a good like 20 seconds.
Oof.
Longer on that. I mean
they heard a lot.
They heard a lot. And then seriously, and then as soon as I stopped yelling at her just to take a breath, he's like, $14.92 is your total. He's so like, I hate to say this right now. Don't want to interrupt your family time, but you do have to pay me for this double cheeseburger.
Oh yeah, teen girls.
Oh man, it's
rough
brutal
stuff.
Yeah, teenage girls are difficult for sure.
I was really difficult.
I'll tell you what though, here's a secret. So are grown ass girls. So
it never ends.
I'm just outnumbered. I'm just the man in the middle, like a maniac. Like, so yeah. So it's been a fun weekend. I was looking forward to sharing that story with you. And the burger was trash. Thank you for asking. It was not good at all. It was a shitty ass burger. All right, let's see. Rock 102.1. Who's this?
You know who it is.
No, I don't. Okay, if you, I told you.
You said you had.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't memorize every number that pops up on the screen. Gittins, and I told you. Rule number 1, don't say you know who this is. And rule number 2, don't sound super creepy while you're doing it.
I know. That's an FML.
Yes, it is. Thank you. And that's the consensus here on the stream.
I agree with you. Been there, done that. You know, son of a bitch.
Yeah, super.
You should have an SOB session.
An SOB, son of a bitch session. Well, write that down for me so we can figure out what that means, and then maybe.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying because it's not really like fuck my life. It's like son of a bitch. Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh, Todd Marley said rude. Gittins only has one sound, and that is creeper.
I'm just trying to.
I know. I like it. Gittins, thank you very much. Call back later. Get back on the stream. Comment. Let me see those comments here. All right. And no sliding in anybody's DMs. You know you're banned from sliding into people's DMs. And yes.
Well, I don't do anybody's DMs.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's so good. That's so good. All right, Gittins, I'm gonna hang up on you now. I'll talk to you later. Peace. All right, that's Gittins, everybody. All right. Todd, you have a second to play the last word or Powers. I'm gonna invite you both to see who can beat Mari in the last word here. We'll do that, and I want to play Mari's dirty DMs. And yes, Screaming Beef will return. Trust me. Just give me
getting real red.
Well, I mean, I put myself back in that.
You did. You were there.
I had to.
You were in the drive-through.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do. It's part of the gig, to reenact in theater of the mind. But that's exactly. I mean, I didn't exaggerate. If anything, I recreated it to a T. To a T.
Oh, I bet. It's very accurate.
Yes, and I know that some of you guys probably have been in the same scenario. Mari's not undefeated. She has lost, I think.
Who beat me?
Well, I don't know who beat you, but didn't you lose at least once?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I'm undefeated.
Okay.
I can't remember who beat me, but I think it one time.
We'll see if Mari will continue her winning streak in the last word if Todd or Powers pops in on the stream. But first, if you missed Mari's dirty DMs, it went a little something like this. Check it out. Rock 102.1 KFMA, it's Beef Vegan Presents. It's been about 2 weeks. I'm super excited to bring this back because creeps have been sliding in to Mari's inbox over and over again. So we're going to spotlight a couple of them here. And this is Mari's dirty DMs. Mari, what's been going on?
Ooh. Yeah, so this set is a lot of guys in the giving spirit.
Okay.
it seems.
Yeah, well, it is the holidays, so
Mhm.
people are going to be extra giving.
Extra.
So how have they been giving? They've been giving you pictures like always, or no?
No pictures, just some real gross, vulgar content.
Okay. Well, I like vulgar content. So what's the
know.
first dirty DM that you got?
Okay, so the first one is if you need can I say the O word?
Yes,
Okay.
orgasm. Absolutely.
If you need an orgasm, I'm your guy, and if I don't make you orgasm, you can smack me 10 times.
10 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's a pretty round number.
That's
Pretty
it.
specific number.
Very specific.
Can't smack him 11 times. Can't smack him 9 times. You
Just
got 10 shots.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I like that. It's kind of like a money
Ah.
back guarantee. At least he comes in confident. Like, I'll get the job done. And if I don't, punish me.
Ugh.
All right. What else you got?
This guy says, "Hey, I think you need a real horse thing.
Horse thing. Be more specific.
Can I say that word?
Thing? No,
No.
you probably can't say
C?
the word. Oh, the C word. Rhymes with clock.
Rhymes with clock.
Okay.
You need a real horse clock guy, right?
Oh, yeah. Did you respond to this one?
This one, I said, nay. And then I
Nice.
blocked him.
Yeah, shut him down.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. I can't blame this guy. If he's really hung like a horse, and if I was really hung like a horse, I'd brag about it too. That'd be my opener.
If he even is.
He probably
The internet.
isn't. You're
Everybody
right.
lies on the internet.
That's true. Very true.
Oh.
All right. We got time for one
Okay.
more. You got one more for me?
Yeah, we'll go out with a bang because this guy is horrible and real graphic.
Okay.
And okay, sometimes you need to just let go, right? That's like okay, like nice.
Right. Okay.
And then it gets worse. I bought some rope and a blindfold to put on you today. My
Jeez.
plan is to edge you for about 5 hours over and over until you are begging to blank. And then when I do let you blank,
Ugh.
I will not stop because I'm planning on giving you multiple orgasms for about 3 hours after the edging session.
It's not even sexy anymore. This sounds like waterboarding. It's torture.
It's horrible.
Ugh.
This is a good 8-hour working day designed for an obedient woman.
Oh, okay. Are you an obedient woman?
No,
Oh.
I am not even going there. That guy got blocked immediately. That is just too much.
Let that be a lesson,
Too
guys.
much.
All of these are examples of what not to do when sliding into somebody's DMs. So this is another round of Mari's Dirty DMs. Thanks for sharing. All right, we're back here on the live stream, and joining us via satellite from what looks like a Toys R Us near you. We got Powers. Good morning, Powers.
Hello.
Good. You can hear us.
Can you hear me though? Is that working?
And I could totally hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, look, it's like empty though. Oh, it's so sad.
I know you. So you Powers did a toy show yesterday. Did you sell a bunch of this stuff?
I sold a bunch of crap. So,
Yeah.
but I did organize it and price it and whatever, and I got to get some stuff online. So it's good to do that.
Yeah. See, hustling. I mean, that's all you got to do. Oh,
I
I'm
spent
glad.
almost $100.
Oh, see, so you went to go sell toys, but you ended up buying more toys than you sold. Yeah, that's on brand. That is on brand. There's a Garfield.
I
How much
hate
did that cost you?
Mondays.
You're such a
He'll crack himself up all day. All
I
right, I want to play a game.
Oh, it's so funny.
You guys know the game. Corporate hates these games. This is called The Last Word. I have 3 more categories that I'd like to share with our champion, Mari, and our challenger, always, Powers. And we'll start with Mari. 30-second rounds. Whoever gets the last acceptable answer wins the round. Best of 3 rounds wins the game. Mari, are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, here we go. Clock will begin when I finish asking this question. Name an animal starting with the letter C that you'd never want to eat. Go.
Cat.
Cat. Yep. Powers.
A cougar. Wow.
A cougar. Yep.
Cheetah.
A cheetah. Yeah, don't eat that.
A capybara.
Yeah, capybara.
Oh no, you got me because I was gonna say that. Cougar, you already said. I'm blanking. A kari ko.
Oh, you could have said cobra.
Ah!
One round goes to Powers.
Cockroaches. I should have been listening at the thing. Why did I do that?
I know they're out there.
Oh,
They're
God.
helping.
Thanks,
yeah,
guys. I messed up.
work smarter, not harder. That's okay. That's all right. You can still win this game.
Chimpanzee.
You're down one round, but it is a best of three. Powers, you're going to start off this one. All right, here we go. If the groom's dog is his best man, name something he hopes Fido doesn't do at his wedding reception. Go.
Poop on the floor.
Poop on the floor. Yes.
Pee on the groom.
Pee on the groom. Yes.
Hump anyone's leg.
Hump a leg. Yeah, absolutely.
Eat the ring.
Eat the ring. Yep.
Barf.
Yeah, bark. Shut up, dog.
Bite the wife.
Bite the wife. Yeah.
Throw up.
Yeah, throw up.
Treats.
Knock down the flower girl.
Knock down the flower girl. Yeah.
Trash the wedding cake.
Trash the wedding cake. Oh, we got ourselves a new champion. What was your good one?
Slobber on the wedding dress.
Slobber on the wedding dress. Yes. But
Fudge.
unfortunately, that's a big L for you.
I know. So I'm officially defeated.
Excellent job. Yeah, I mean, he had to do it via satellite, so he couldn't do it in person. If
Oh,
that makes you, and like I said,
my genitals.
I have tons of great categories that I came up with this week.
I love this game.
Yes, it's a fantastic game. So, and I'll give you a couple examples of categories. We got a minute before we go on. Mari's got some breaking news she's going to share with us.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah. And we'll make it quick. It'll be a quick segment. But say, other than feet, name something that runs. Name a reason you think men grow beards. Name a reason a guy. Well, that one's from last week is so good. I'm keeping it in there. Name a reason a guy might not break up with his psycho girlfriend. That's a fun category. And then there's a bunch more. I don't want to spoil too much, but we'll be playing Last Word all week long, whether on air or just on the podcast broadcast stream.
It's for us.
Yeah, it is for us.
I enjoy it,
Yeah.
even if I just lost.
Thanks for that period, Jonah. Let's see. I'm just looking through the comments here. We got about 23 seconds. So the breaking news that Mari's about to report on the air is that Jack Dorsey of Twitter stepped down as CEO. That's big. So we're going to talk about that here in about 10 seconds. Powers, I'm going to put you backstage. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Bye.
All right. Here we go. Rock 102.1 KFMA, it's Beef Vegan Presents, and Mari's here with some breaking news. What's happening in the news today, Mari?
So Jack Dorsey has officially stepped down as Twitter's CEO.
Dun, dun, dun. Really? That's a big deal, actually, in the cyber world. I mean, Dorsey, he's no Zuckerberg. A lot of people look at Zuckerberg as like the most evilest man on the planet. But Dorsey, on the flip side of that, kind of like ran the company with a little morality. I know there's going to be people out there listening that might argue that, but it seemed like there was some morality.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So him stepping down just kind of leaves somebody who has less intentions to step in and step up and make it Facebook 2.0.
He says he fully supports the guy that is taking his place and that he thinks sometimes the founder running the company can hinder the company's growth. So he thinks it's time he steps back. And I guess he's really getting into the whole cryptocurrency thing. So maybe that's his new venture.
Oh, no. Oh, whatever he's going to do, he'll make $1 billion off
Yes.
it. He's proven that. But yeah, maybe he was saying that with a wink and a nod towards Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and every other rich megalomaniac out there. It's like sometimes the founders, they get a little too much power, too much money, and it goes to their stupid cyborg-like head. Zuck.
He is a cyborg, dude.
That's breaking news, though.
Mhm.
Let's hit the reset. We'll be back with your beef tip right after this. Stick around. All right, clear.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. So what do you say, Powers? Do you think it's the same? Like it was a wink and a nod towards the Zuckerberg?
Well, yeah, probably, I guess. But, that makes a lot of sense. It's also a good excuse for him to be like, I'm going to magnanimously choose to do this. I'm like,
Yeah. Right. You're not getting a reward for that. Or
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
F that.
F
Whatever,
that.
billionaires.
Amy and Andrew Dobbins here.
Sorry about that. All right. On that hot take, I do want to share a clip from this morning from our morning moron. This is a woman who's legitimately stupid. And have you ever been addicted to video games? Powers, I would ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
And more specifically, games on your phone, little apps. They design.
That Candy Crush will get you.
Exactly. Well, this is a woman who was addicted to an app on her phone that was essentially like Candy Crush. And she took it too far. Check this out. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Mario, you want to do a little morning moron?
I would love that.
Yeah, let's do it. Now, you ever play one of those like app video games that have you pump in money even though you get no rewards? You get virtual rewards, but you don't get money back. You ever been addicted to a game like that?
No.
I was for like the Trailer Park Boys game.
Oh, they had a game?
Oh, they still have a game. And it's a stupid game, but they design it so well that they make it so addictive. It makes you want to invest money to get more rewards to unlock more garbage that you don't need that has no physical value, no emotional value either. It just, they know how, they have it down to a science where it releases the dopamine in your brain and you can't get enough of it.
Right.
The reason why I bring that up is because a 49-year-old woman in Australia is now pleading guilty to a charge that she stole real money from an animal hospital so she could play slot machines online, which didn't even pay actual cash.
What?
Yes.
From animals?
Yes, from animals. She stole over $671,000 to feed her addiction.
Wow, that much money?
Yes. Now,
that's so much money. That's a house.
Yes, it's a house. It's 2 houses depending on where you look. It's a nice life. And that's a lot of animal food that she took away and medicine and everything else. But I mean, if you think about it, if it was an online casino that would pay actual money, then maybe you're like, okay,
yeah, some sort of reward.
Yeah, it takes money to make money, right?
Yes.
And maybe she just had a string of bad luck. But this wasn't the case. It was an app that paid no money back whatsoever. The winnings are just more digital credits, more digital rewards, and not actual money that you could cash out. And not even like cool rewards like back in the day with Marlboro Miles. You get a nice little jacket that says, hey, I'm killing myself, but I got this awesome jacket. She didn't even get any physical rewards from this. And her gambling problem was so serious that she played the game in her sleep.
What?
There was an automatic, essentially an auto run option that you would just pump credits into. And while she slept, it would run. And then she'd wake up in the morning to see if she won or she lost.
Whoa.
So she wasn't even actually playing. She just
spending money as she slept.
just tapped into her vein. And then first thing she do when she woke up is like, did I get lucky? Did I get lucky? No, you didn't get lucky.
Oh my Lanta, that's insane.
Right. So, as far as the morning moron is concerned, I don't think we've come across someone who deserves the title so fittingly.
No.
Someone so stupid.
So stupid.
Yeah. So Rachel was charged with 25 counts of computer-related fraud, and she's looking at prison time.
What?
And she hasn't been sentenced yet. And this happened in Australia, so she probably will go down under. And that is your morning moron. Let's hit the reset, and then we'll talk about our good friend Rico. Will he join a cult? Is he in a cult?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, that was from this morning earlier, and then I still got Powers here on the stream.
Hi.
Real quick, Powers, let me put you backstage because Mari and I want to take turns watching each other joke off, if that's okay.
Interesting. I'll be in this dark corner.
Yeah, you be in the dark corner while we joke off together. It's going to be fun. Okay? All right, so here's the joking off. I wrote 5 terrible jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start. And then you follow it up, okay? It's kind of like Weekend Update. You go back and forth, okay?
All right.
All right. Today's top headline, Madonna posted a topless photo on Instagram. Her nipples are hidden by pixelation. Well, pixelation and gravity. Huh? No? Okay.
No.
All right, your turn. I'll just check in with Powers to see what his reaction is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. General Mills is raising prices on breakfast cereals like Lucky Charms, Reese's Puffs, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, wow.
Usually, the only thing they raise is childhood obesity rate.
Okay. You got a little nod of approval there from Powers. All right. This next headline, President Biden spent Thanksgiving in Nantucket, which inspired this poem. There once was a man in Nantucket who looked at the deficit and said, fuck it. Okay.
Funny.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you laughed at that.
I laughed. That was good.
All right. You do this next one here, Mari.
Okay. Lindsay Lohan is engaged.
Oh, yes. I heard this. Congratulations, Lindsay.
I never thought I'd see Lindsay walk down the aisle. Stumble, maybe, but not walk.
She's a drunk, Powers. You get it? She's a fall down drunk. It's hilarious. Okay.
She's doing well now.
All right, final headline. A Russian cannibal was arrested after a headless body fell out of the car during a car accident. I don't know if you heard about this.
No.
This was making news in Siberia. He's out on bail, though, but it cost him an arm and a leg.
That's good. That's
All
real
right,
good.
That's good. I'm glad
That's some good writing.
glad you enjoyed that.
Oh, man. I want to look into that story.
I was going to do sound effect theater, but I only wrote like half the story. So you didn't do that. Now, I did this with Powers last week. It's a pretty funny idea. So essentially I tell a story and then I put little marks in my story that are sound effect worthy. And when I get to those marks, I'll point to you, in this case, Mari, to make the sound effect.
Oh.
The proper sound effect. So I'll do a little bit of this and see how this would have went. All right. I once went on a blind date in high school. My cousin and I were at the 4th of July barbecue watching fireworks go off. She said she knew a girl named Julie who I would be perfect for. She told me she gave me her pager number and that her code number was 69. Normally, this would make me mad enough to slap her. But 69 was a really funny number and it made me giggle. Couple days later, she paged me. Beep, beep, beep. I called her back, but got a busy signal. And then it kind of stops. But so I'll finish that up and I'll write a couple more stories. But that was a good example. So that's sound effect theater. We'll do that on the air in a future segment.
So silly.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
I mean,
silly.
silly is kind of like what we're trying to do here.
It's your middle name.
No, it's not. It's William.
No? Oh, is it William?
Yes.
I did not know
Oh,
that.
Wellington.
Very solid middle name.
Wellington.
It's not Wellington. Beef Wellington is a friend of mine. He lives in Phoenix and he was on the radio as well. In fact, first couple of years of my radio existence, I was getting accused of ripping off his name. I got into a fight with a big promoter up in Phoenix. He owns Stateside Presents, which is like one of the coolest concert promoters in the entire state. And he owns like Crescent Ballroom, the Van Buren, Valley Bar, a couple places up in the Phoenix area. And he was known for bringing some of the best buzzworthy indie bands to town. Now, these were bands that I was playing on my station. So it only made sense that we worked together, right? So I kept scheduling meetings with this guy to try to like get him on board, to contribute some advertising dollars to help me out. And while I'm helping him out, getting people all stoked on these buzzworthy indie bands, selling more tickets, things like that. And so we're having this meeting in his office and he's kind of giving me shit. And then he's like, at one point, he's like, you stole your name. And I was like, no, I didn't. My name's Beef Vegan. I have a different last name. He's Beef Wellington. He basically picked his name off a fucking menu. I'm a contradiction. Your name's Charlie. What are you? You stole your name from Charlie Brown? Like, this is how the meeting went. And then it ended bad. He did not work with me after that. It took him a good year or two. He came around, but that meeting definitely didn't get me any new sponsors. Rocco 211 KFMA. We're going to wrap up this podcast broadcast, but let me leave you with this. According to a recent survey, over 50% of Gen Z wants to make gaming a family tradition. And I'm all for this, but I would stay away from games like Madden because instead of watching football, you're playing football, because usually when I played Madden with my friends, I end up hating them and wishing death upon them. So that's not a good family game. What I played, though, was left, right, center over the weekend. That was a fun game. And that's an old school dice game, baby. You just grab the dice, throw it down there, win some money, you lose some money. Either way, everyone's having a good time. In fact, some of my best Thanksgiving memories are when my family used to get together and play little poker tournaments. Those are the kind of gaming. That's the kind of gaming that will bring families together. over the holidays, and it's the digital gaming, the video gaming that will actually tear them apart.
Yep.
So that is your beef tip. Stick to the traditional games and have a good time. Speaking of good times, we had a good time on the show today. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Don't forget to tell a friend to check out Beef Vegan Presents on Rock 102.1 FM. That kind of rhymed. We're out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of beef, soon will come an end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all